Okay, as you can see over here, I have a graph, okay, that represents simple interest and compound interest. So what can you tell from these two types of interest? Okay, let's say for the y-axis, okay, it represents the amount of money, all right? And for simple interest, okay, as you can see, it follows a linear graph. Okay, it's actually a linear graph. And as time goes by, the amount of money, let's say you borrow from a bank, okay, the amount of money will increase linearly as time goes by. All right? But as you can see, for compound interest, it's more interesting, as in, as time goes by, the compound interest increases. So it means the amount of money that you borrow from the bank will increase. But it does not increase linearly. Okay? Instead, it increases exponentially. All right? So this is the key difference between compound interest and simple interest. Okay? The compound interest would increase more and more, all right, as time goes by. Okay? So, let's use an example, okay, to see what's the difference between their calculations. All right? I have over here Randall. He deposits $1,000 in each of the two banks. So Bank A pays a simple interest at a rate of 10% per annum. Bank B pays an interest at a rate of 10% per annum compounded yearly. So find the total amount Randall would have from each bank at the end of 3 years and 10 years. Okay, so first you have to take note of the key information. Okay, for this, Bank A has a 10% interest per annum. Per annum means per year. Alright? And for Bank B, the interest rate is the same. Okay, but now for Bank B, it's not a simple interest, it's a compound interest. So, let's solve for part A first, for 3 years. Okay, so I'm going to solve it, okay, to find the total amount for each successive year. And from there, we can find the difference in their calculations. Alright? So, for Bank A, $1,000. Okay, as you know, as you recall, in your secondary one, okay, if you want to calculate the simple interest, is PRT over 100. Okay, P is the principal amount, which is $1,000. R is the interest rate, which we know is 10%. Okay, so since it's over 100, I'll just write 10. Okay, and T is the number of years, all right, which we want to find 3 years. Okay, but for this case, I will find each successive year. So let's say for the first year, okay, the interest would be 10 times 10%, so 10 out of 100 times $1,000. Okay, I have to add this interest to the principal amount. So 10% of $1,000, you calculate this, it is $100. Okay, so I can just write $100 instead. Okay, so I add this, it's $1,100. Then at the end of the second year, I have to add another $100. Okay, as you can see, simple interest, the interest increases linearly only. So you just add the same interest amount, you get 1,200. And at the end of the third year, you add another $100, you have $1,300. Alright? Okay, now let's look at Bank B. So Bank B is a compound interest. So how do we calculate it? So for the first, at the end of the first year, what we have to do is to find 10% of $1,000. So 1,000 times 10%, we have $100, and we add to the amount, the original amount. So this is $1,100. Okay, so as you can see, both are the same, okay, for the end of the first year. But when it comes to the end of the second year, it's different already. Okay, so let me show you over here. So now, if I want to find the end of the second year, do I still add $100? Okay, no. Alright, instead you have to find 10% of the amount that is being received for the end of the first year. Okay, so times 10%, this would be $110, and you have to add this to $1,100, and you'll have $1,210. All right, and as you can see, now they are different. Okay, so for the end of the third year, you have to multiply 10% of this amount. Okay, not the original amount. All right, so you multiply by 10%, you have $121, and you add back to $1,210, and this would be $1,331. All right, as you can see, for compound interest, okay, the amount is always more as compared to the simple interest. All right, so this is the key difference between them. Okay, now let's say if we want to find the answer for part B for 10 years. Okay, are we going to do it for 10 years? Okay, using this method? All right, no. All right, there's actually a formula for simple and compound interest. Okay, these are the two formulas. All right, and you have to remember them. Okay, for simple interest, it's not in the formula sheet. So this is very important. You have to remember it. Okay, so the total amount is a principal amount. Okay, the original amount plus PRT over 100. All right. For the compound interest is in the formula sheet, but I still advise you to remember it by heart. Okay, so the compound interest, we have here P. P is the principal amount, which is the original amount. So this is the principal amount. R is the interest rate. Okay, and N, okay, it refers to the number of periods. Okay, so let's say we want to calculate for 10 years. All right, so if we want to find using simple interest, the principal amount is $1,000 plus 1,000 times 10 times 10 divided by 100. You just calculate this out. This is $2,000. All right. Now let's use the formula to calculate for compound interest. So the principal amount is 1,000. 1 plus the interest rate, which is 10%, so 10 over 100. Then now to the power of n. Okay, so n refers to the number of periods, and for this case it is 10 years. So we raise this up to the power of 10. All right. So when you calculate this, it is $2,594. This is to the nearest dollar. Okay, so remember these two formulas by heart. It's actually quite easy to remember them. Okay, as you do more practices, okay, it will just come from the back of your mind easily. All right.